Welcome to the new episode of the Tin Dog Podcast. In this episode I'll be talking about the new series, first episode, Smith and Jones, written by Russell T Davies. But first, a note about the Tin Dog Podcast. I hope I'll be able to do a little podcast about every single episode once a week and publish it as soon as possible. However, that can't be guaranteed, so I will try my best and I will try and review it for everyone. Of course, I'm not actually sure anybody's listening to this. You listen to some podcasts out there and you get them always going on about how marvellous the feedback is and that they've all received copious amounts of emails. I've received none, and also I have no feedback at all on iTunes. So, just for the record, my email address is tin, that's TIN, -dog, DOG, at hotmail.co.uk. Of course, you probably just want to listen to this. According to Libsyn, my listenership figures are quite high, so it comes as a surprise that nobody's bothered to email me at all. Anyway, this week's show. Well, we've got the first episode of the new season, and of course we've got, well, a new companion. Apparently the press keeps saying that she's the first black companion, so let's not count Mickey Smith then, shall we not? To be honest, does it matter? I mean, you know, it's 2007. We're just grateful we've got a TV show. The TV show's format is The Doctor and someone, and some people possibly. I kinda like it when there's a few of them. But anyway, short episodes, short stories, only need 2 people. Right. First off, I need to say I did enjoy this episode. Any gripes that I do have, and trust me, there's a couple, are just gripes. They're just my anorak showing through. The series will be good. I know this. Despite the gratuitous use of Mr. Saxon, which I counted twice so far, and I probably even missed some. On Saturday night, I didn't watch Doctor Who. It was somebody's birthday, and we went out, and my mind was going, you know, the episode's recording, it's gonna be fine. And it was fine. So on Sunday afternoon I settled down and I watched it, and it was very, very good. However, let's face it, Martha's a new character, you need to introduce her. Now, Russell's idea of the show is primarily to have the Doctor and the Doctor's adventures seen from an Earth person's point of view, the Earth person representing the audience. I can see his argument. The old fans, we've been with it long enough to understand this. You know, you need someone to go, what's going on? What's happening? And obviously this person needs to be different enough from Rose to not get on the press's nerves, and different enough for all the kids to notice and not to compare and all that. So, what Russell's done is, he's gone straight out and introduced her entire family. Yes, we're back to Buffy world, where you've got a shed load of characters who you don't actually care about, in the sense of, do you really want another episode with Mickey and Jackie? Not really. You don't want more members of the family. You'd quite like to go down the Disney road of having an orphan as the central character. Do you remember, have you realised that? Has anybody ever noticed? All the Disney films, central characters, orphans, or lone parents. There's never an atomic family. I know, not atomic, nuclear. Nuclear family, it doesn't matter. An atomic family for Disney. But Russell's decided to have the extended family thing, which of course means people are going to come back. She's going to talk to her friends. This is to make her more rounded. Can we not have someone completely cut off? Now, I know the last person who was completely cut off from everyone was Adric. Again, let's not go there. I, for one, didn't mind Adric. Okay, I'm rambling insanely. Let's discuss the episode. The first couple of minutes is spent just introducing Martha. You've got the Doctor showing up from the end of the episode in a kind of a time warpy, crossing his own timeline kind of a thing, which we all know how badly that goes, Paul McGann. And we've got other things happening as well. But I didn't enjoy the obligatory setting up of Martha's character. It just felt like I was watching Hollyoaks for a couple of seconds, and I was desperately trying just to listen to the gears grind as we got into the story. Oh, you see, I'm sounding like I didn't enjoy it. This is how fandom went horribly wrong in the 80s. We complained so much. Oh, I'm sorry. I just don't like the idea of Martha's family. Shall I crash on? I think I better. After Martha's family, she ends up... Oh, sorry. Did I not mention she's a trainee doctor? I'm assuming you've all actually seen the episode. If you haven't seen the episode, just stop listening. I mean, you know this is going to contain spoilers. You know this is going to just talk about the programme in a little bit too much depth. Just stop listening, find the programme, watch it, then come back. Potted plot. The doctor has discovered there's something going on at the hospital. He's checked in. She works at the hospital. Something does indeed go on at the hospital. The entire hospital is kidnapped and put on the moon. The reason it's put on the moon is because some aliens who look a little bit like Sontarans, but in fact they're descended from, I don't know, rhinos or something, turn up. They're the police. Yeah, because you've never even heard of them before. And the police are on the hunt for an escaped criminal who is something called a plasmavore. Plasmavore's a type of vampire. Yes, all of the classic fans went, surely that's a hemivore. Now I'm guessing it's a specific type of hemivore, or it's a completely different creature, or more likely it's an offshoot of the great vampire discussed in some Tom Baker story. I know it was State of Decay. I'm trying to sound as though I don't know these things, but you know I do. You've got the 7th Doctor story with the hemivores, you've got the 10th Doctor story with the plasmavores, and you've got the 4th Doctor story discussing the great vampires. You see, the vampire theme is great. It plays into the whole gothicness, which is why, instead of having fangs and tearing somebody's throat out, she comes at you with a terrifying 10-pence straw. Yeah, I know Russell's trying to make household objects scary, but you really could have done with some sort of small shape changing, or even a proboscis or something coming out to make her more alien than she looks. Anyway, you've got an old lady who these creatures are looking for, or the creatures are called the Jagoon or the Dragoon, or either way. She's got some henchmen. Now, let's for a moment talk about the design. You've got your lovely space rhinos, and they're dressed in leather costumes and a space helmet. Classic proper aliens. Don't look like a bloke in a costume that much. A little bit Horns of the Nimon thing going on, but don't go there. Don't go there. However, at the bottom of the costume, they appear to be wearing the same New Rocks that I bought in Newcastle about a year ago. They're very nice boots, but to be fair, they do all seem to be wearing the same boots, but they really could have dressed them just a little bit more, because they just look, well, they were New Rocks. However, on the leather fetish front, we have to deal with several other things, i.e. the vampire's henchmen. They're pure leather all the way through, with a big shiny helmet. Now, far be it for me to say that there's some sort of context or subtext, or even, as the Doctor said, someone involved in this has got a bit of a fetish going on. But to be fair, well, let's let everyone read their own things into that, shall we? Now, I'm digressing. The episode itself's very well done. It's got some lovely effects, the mill, always good. I've yet to see something that I haven't liked by the mill. The scene with the hospital moved to the moon did look very good, and of course everyone's going to run out of air. The standard thing where if the Doctor hadn't have got involved, the same storyline may have happened anyway, is kind of nagging at the back of my mind. Would the alien creature have got away with it? Would everyone just have died? I suppose they would have, but is it truly important? Either way, Martha is returned to Earth, she goes to her brother's 21st party. There's a lot of overacting and a lot of people with some extremely dodgy accents. And then a very odd thing happens. The Doctor turns up and asks her to go with him. Does nobody ever run off with the Doctor anymore? Does nobody ever hide on board the TARDIS or anything like that? He turns up and asks her. Does he really want to open himself up to that sort of thing? And then, of course, I've just remembered the thing. Of course, I was trying to repress the kiss. Yes, I'm not good with kissing in Doctor Who. I'm a prude. I'm an old-fashioned Who fan. I'm the person who just didn't like 1996's kiss at all. But hey, times move on. The guys got too hot. Oh, there was a throwaway line that I must admit will mess with people's heads. I haven't checked the bulletin boards. People have probably discussed this to death already. But at one point the Doctor does imply that he had a brother. Yeah. Now, there's a whole thing about whether the Master was the Doctor's brother. Let's not go with that. You can discuss that for yourself. But then again, he did say, I don't have a brother anymore, so it's kind of pointless. But it's worthy of note. So, the entire Doctor's family. You've got his dad, called Ulysses, only discussed in novels. His mother, also only discussed in novels. You've now got a brother. Of course, you've then got Lungbarrow, which is everyone comes from a loom, and he's from the House of... Tell you what, let's all ignore this, and I'll do a whole podcast on the Doctor's family another time. Let's all finish off this one by saying that the episode was very good. It was a nice introduction. Obviously, the first episode of a new season's always a bit juddery. Let's remember back. But the second episode, next week's, well, let's face it, the second episode of every season's been extremely good. And I'm hoping that for this one. It's got witches, it's got Shakespeare, it's got overacting in it, it's got strange history. Of course, it might have to join up with other mentions of Shakespeare, but that's not a problem. Right, I'll go now, and I will try and review next week's show. But let's face it, you'll watch it anyway. Remember, my email address is tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. Thanks very much. Be seeing you.